Craig is my name. I'm fucking Craig! Where will you be when the Craig machine comes partying through?
Welcome to this edition of What's So Funny. Tonight's guest? Well, think of brain candy, music candy, eye candy, and penny candy. If that candy is mojo, because that's what he's got going on. As co-founder of the band Odds, all-round collaborator and popular composer, scoring scores for film and TV, it's Craig Northey. And now, your host and MC, a guy who's just coming off 2 weeks of comedy critiquing. And boy, is his pen tired. Mr. Guy McPherson.
Boy, is my brain tired. That was 2 weeks. Shows almost every night.
I know.
Ugh.
Complain about it all the time.
Thank God that's over with. Hey, that's a new theme song. I don't know. I don't think it'll stick around, but I forgot the old one tonight, so...
I like it. It's got a Saturday Night Live feel or something.
Kind of does, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it's very
gritty.
cool.
But like the end of the show more than the beginning.
Well, it'll also be on the end because I forgot the end theme song as well.
okay. Well, there you go.
Hey, Craig.
Hi, Guy.
Thanks.
Hey, Colleen.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for asking me.
So late on a Sunday night.
I know.
Oscar night!
Yeah, wasn't that amazing?
Were you glued to your TV?
No,
No.
I was working.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Working on a Sunday night. Wait a
Yes.
second, you're a musician.
TV doesn't rest.
You don't really work.
That's true. I was enjoying myself making silly music.
Noodling on your guitar.
Yeah, well, yeah, a little bit.
What were you working on?
A show called Young Drunk Punk. I'm the scoring composer with my friend Jim McGraw.
That's the Bruce McCullough
It is.
vehicle.
Yeah.
Wait, that's the sitcom, right?
It is.
Because that was also the name of his touring one-man show,
It was, yeah.
which I saw you in a few months ago.
That's true, yeah.
It was down on Commercial.
Yeah, at the York.
At the York. Yeah, you came in at the end and just
Yeah,
blew everyone off the stage.
I did. I stole it at the end there.
Craig Northey, people know you from Dawn Patrol, but you were also in you were also in Hoi Polloi.
Jeepers.
Let's not forget that, or Rockosaurus.
You're like Nardwar.
I know, but I don't have anything to give you.
Yeah, that's right. Where's my presents? Well, that Craig song at the beginning, that was a nice
That
gift.
was a present.
Yeah, it was good. I was just thinking, if you take it out of context, the chorus is "fucking Craig."
I know.
You could take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be a noun or an
Yeah, I know.
adjective. It could be all kinds of
Such a
things.
useful phrase.
Yeah.
Even when he says "I'm"
Yes.
before
I'm
it.
fucking Craig.
That's
It
right.
just doesn't seem right, does it?
Yeah. But how about all those bands? Hey, because you're most known for Odds.
Yes.
Now, not the Odds,
No.
but
Yeah.
why in one of the videos for one of your songs, Kids in the Hall were in it,
Yeah.
and they say the Odds.
Yes. Well, we started out, there was a "the" on the beginning of it, and we always say, because back then there was a band called The that we were sued, and we just couldn't afford the litigation, so we
Wait.
just dropped "the." But
But they were the. You
yeah.
could say no. It's
We're
pronounced
the.
completely differently.
Well, the reason was we would go do gigs, and if the proprietor was putting up the plastic letters that you shoehorn in there on the marquee, they'd put it the same size as Odds, and sometimes too close to Odds, so it looked like Theods, and we'd say, "Wow, we got to stop that."
So it was originally the Odds.
Yeah, well, just around town. And then when we made our first sort of official album, it wasn't one of our indie cassettes, we dropped it so that when you put it up and people say, no, just Odds, so that when they made posters and stuff, it would just say Odds, and you didn't get Theods or some giant "the" in front of it.
Very hard to Google, though.
It's really hard since pornography and gambling are the big things on the internet.
Yeah.
See, we're a pre-internet band. We had no idea. And I'm sure all the pornographic bands have a hard time being found on the internet as well.
So, yeah, you're like mid-'80s. Is that right?
We formed in 87. Yes.
87. You know, I used to work at Tom Lee Music.
You did.
And I remember once there was a bit of a excitement in the air. Somebody said somebody from the Odds was on the in the digital second mezzanine level.
Really screwing things up, probably.
No, they were all
Especially
excited.
if it's digital.
They were all excited. Could have been you.
Could have been, but I don't know about the wave of excitement. Seems fishy to me.
Well, you know, big celebrities coming into the town. That would have
That's
been from 90 to 95 when I worked there.
Well,
So you guys were
I had
the
been
height.
in those 5 years. I'm pretty sure I was in Tom Lee.
See, we go way back, even
Yeah.
though we just met.
Yeah.
And another time I saw you in person was in Victoria. You were the leader of the Brent Butt talk show band.
Yeah. Leader and also follower. I was both.
And yeah, the only one.
I was the only one in the band. Well, Brent and I, Brent wanted to do this talk show, and he's one of the most consistent and person with the highest integrity that I know, because when he said many years ago, hanging out one night having a beer, hey, if I ever get a TV show or something, would you do the theme? And I said, of course I would.
And what were you
just
thinking?
ask.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then he called me when he got Corner Gas and said, I got this thing going, and I said I would ask you, and I couldn't even remember. But he remembered, and he asked me.
Wait a second. The way you said that,
Mhm.
I had a big issue.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about this with Brent on this show too, with the CTV announcer.
Yes.
He pronounced it like you just did.
Which-
Corner gas
Oh, geez, yeah.
instead of corner gas.
Yeah. And is that how you should? You're telling me that's
I'm
how it
telling
should
you
be?
that's how it should, and I think Brent agrees.
Yeah, okay.
But that's you were just you just did the music on it. You
I
didn't
know.
have to
I don't
say
I
the
don't-
words.
I've never actually said it before till now.
Oh.
That's the first time. So I'm just practicing, and I really help. Your mentorship is important to me.
Good.
And
So let's try it. Corner gas.
corner. I can't. No, I'm gonna have to practice a little more.
Great opening number too,
Oh, thank you.
and closing number, or
Yeah,
closing
yeah,
credits,
both.
theme, whatever you call these things in the jargon of your profession.
Well, yeah, intro, outro. He asked for we discussed what it should be like, and he described the whole show to me, and the different things that his character does and what the other characters did. So I always give them a couple things to choose from. So I gave them 2 pieces, and they said, "Great, we'll take both of those."
Oh, well,
Yeah, it was really
Bookend
good.
it.
Yeah, it was awesome. But I was
stuff
saying,
you'd already written too.
no,
No?
I had an idea with my friend Jesse, who's in a band called the Gin Blossoms from Arizona, and we co-write quite a bit, and we'd had this idea kicking around, sort of a melodic thing and a basic feel, and so we adapted that for the opening one, and then the second one I just kept the same feel and wrote something else over it.
When was that? When did Corner Gas debut?
Corner
Gas.
Yes.
When did Corner Gas debut?
Yes, 10 years ago. 10
Only
years ago.
10?
Yeah, because the movie's a 10-year anniversary.
Oh,
of
wow.
the
That was a
show.
good movie, too, I got to say.
I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed working on it.
Yeah. And at the end, you're there with like 1,000 extras all singing your song.
I know,
What a
it's
rush.
like a party for me. It was like, it should have been my birthday.
It should have been.
Yeah.
By the way, today's my half birthday.
Oh, okay.
I just figured that out when I came in tonight. But not to take anything away from you and your big day.
No, and proving that you're good at math, and I'm not.
in Rollo, Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
But you had you also scored that movie.
I did.
Because it was you needed more than
Yes.
just a half-hour sitcom.
Yeah, and it was a movie, so there's really, I didn't score the series. Rod Bryanton did, but this time I got to.
He got kicked to the curb for the movie.
I feel bad about that because he's really good, but
Someone
asked me, so I said yes.
Well, it was really good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And so Corner Gas was 10 years ago. What are we now? So 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And was that your first TV writing gig?
No. I had done stuff for Bruce McCullough and Dave Foley and my other friends in comedy too prior to that.
Who are your other friends in comedy?
The other kids in the hall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who don't deserve a mention.
No, of course
Just
they
the
do.
others.
Scott Thompson, Mark McKinney.
And the rest.
Yeah.
So
And Kevin McDonald, of course.
Is that all of them? You got them all?
I got them all.
Okay. You know, there were 5.
I can give you the head writers too, if you like.
So how did you're from out here. You're from Vancouver.
Yes.
They're from Toronto.
Yes.
How did you hook up with them?
We had our first album out and had gone touring around, and Bruce saw us. I think that's how it happened. That he bought the record and brought it to the other guys. He saw us play with Warren Zevon. We were Warren Zevon's band and also opening the show, and we did a couple Canadian stops, and one was Toronto. And Bruce loves Warren Zevon, so he went and he saw us and bought the record. That's what they used to call them, but it was actually a CD at that point. And when they came here and they were playing the Vogue on tour, they were playing the album before the show. So somebody, our technical director, asked theirs, who chooses this music? Why are you playing this music? And he goes, oh, they love that band. And he said, well, their rehearsal space is next door down in the basement. You want me to go get them? And so we all met. And that's when I met Brent that night too.
Right.
He was opening.
Yes,
show.
that's right. I was going to tell you that.
Well, I knew that. I was there.
But I needed to show off
Okay.
that I knew that. I was at that show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and you guys had a rehearsal space down on Granville Street.
So that's when we first met before Tom Lee.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Our eyes locked across
That's right. I remember.
a darkened theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you guys were rehearsing right next door. Bruce was like, what?
Yeah, well, we were big fans. On the road, you're on a bus, and back then you had videotapes. Now you have DVDs and stuff, and you watch stuff. And we'd finish the show and start driving for miles, and that's how you occupy yourself. And we love comedy. And at the time, Kids in the Hall were the shit.
They were, yeah.
They still are to me. But
Yeah.
we watched it a lot.
It's funny, you musicians were watching that or listening to them, and the comedians are probably listening to you guys.
Well, I guess that's how it worked. They had our album, and we knew the Shadowy Men guys a little bit from playing a show with them earlier. And anyway, it all connected, and eventually we started collaborating over the years on things.
And that led you to Brent. Now, at that time, did you know Brent when he opened for them?
No, I met him that night. I knew
that
I
night.
knew other comedians, Joel Walmsley and Harry
Wombat.
Dupe. Yeah, and Harry Dupe. And
Both have been guests here?
yeah, and so Harry actually was one of the first comedians I met in town and introduced me around to people who drink and end up in bars. A lot of comedians and musicians drink and end up in bars.
Yeah.
So I would start meeting those guys, and Harry used to jump up when I was a roadie for Barney Bentall when I was 18, 19, 20 in there. And they used to call it, I was a stage tech, a guitar tech, really. And Harry used to jump up and do comedy solos every time there was a technical difficulty, or then eventually the band would just see Harry come in the club and go, bring it down. And they bring it down, and Harry would walk up and do a bit and then walk off, and they keep the song going.
Do his John McEnroe bit?
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
He was one of the first
What about the
comics.
John Boy Walton one with the mint or the chocolate on his face?
Yeah, maybe. He was one of the first guys I saw, but probably
Harry?
around 81. Yeah, because I would go to Punchlines, and he was a regular
Yeah.
there down in Gastown.
He's a good host, too. I really like when Harry's hosting.
Yeah. Yeah, Walmsley, I haven't seen in years.
He's on the prairies.
Oh, is he back?
I'm not going to divulge any of his details, but yeah, he's on the prairies.
We'll find him somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so you have this connection. People go, well, what is this rock guy doing on a show about comedy? But you're not the first rock guy on this show, by the way. There's always a tenuous, at best, connection to comedy, but you probably have the strongest one.
Well, I'm glad. The Mounties guys, though, I know you've had them on here.
Mm-hmm.
They like to laugh.
They do like to laugh. But I mean, your work with, I know Steve Bays has worked with Paul Anthony, writing his theme song to Talent Time and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, all the Kids in the Hall and Brent's shows, both Hiccups and Corner Gas and various movies. Yeah.
I did Norm Macdonald's show.
What?
I did
Which
that
one?
Theme. What was it called?
The Norm Show?
No, the one that was Too Bad by the Slugs was the first one. Was his theme? It was called. I gotta go
Hooper?
to Google. Go to Google.
Stan Hooper?
No, it was a pilot. I don't know if it got more than a few episodes.
American
But
show.
yeah, Rob Schneider was on it, and Norm was hosting. It was a sketch show.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Norm's been a guest here too.
Cool.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, he's a funny man.
So you've done these. Oh, are you a fan of TV theme songs?
Sure, it's how I get by.
Oh, like growing up.
Oh no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Because there are some
they're
great
earworms.
There are some great ones.
Yeah, there were.
They can't leave your head. That's right.
You know, the star-studded ones like Sanford and Son with Quincy Jones, and there was some great composers doing all this stuff.
Oh yeah,
on. Yeah.
I didn't know that. So did you study those when you first were given your first opportunity to write a TV theme song?
Not super a lot, not a lot, but I've come to sort of realize what works. I'm not saying there's any kind of formula. I always try to rethink it each time, but now it's down to 9 seconds, 8 seconds. And
Really?
yeah, the Corner Gas one's long. It's 28 seconds.
That's old school.
And it's singing, which is really rare.
Mm-hmm. And it tells a story, kind of like Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, but that's what Brent wanted to do.
Brady Bunch.
What Brent wanted to do, and it's like the talk show we alluded to earlier, and I did a comedy special with him, a throwback comedy special with him once as a band leader, and underscored bits, and there was an airplane sketch and everything. Like it was a classic TV variety special, and it was really fun. But Brent loves that stuff, and he knows how to do it.
Yeah, he should have a talk show.
He certainly should.
I've thought that for years and years.
Yeah, it would be fantastic.
Think it'll ever happen?
Yep. Well, that's what we were working on over in Victoria a little bit, seeing what the chemistry was like, and
but what you did in Victoria was a very scaled down version.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets a budget to do a talk show, and presumably you would have
I get to hire at least one more guy.
At least one more. Yeah, exactly. But there, it was him coming out, introducing a comic, talking to him for a bit, and doing a desk bit.
Although I love Reggie Watts and what he does with Scott Aukerman. I think that's fantastic too. It's only one guy.
Well, but it's Reggie Watts and all his loops.
Yeah.
He's like 12 guys.
Yeah, it's true.
And he was a legit. I mean, he was in bands before he was in comedy.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of crossover, as you mentioned.
Fred Armisen. There's another
Fred
guy.
Armisen.
I had no idea he was a musician, and he's the band leader of
Seth Meyers'
Seth
show.
Myers. Yeah.
But he has his little bits where Seth throws over to him, and he's the perfect.
Oh, he's
got his moments.
I haven't seen him, but when I heard that he was the band
great.
leader, I thought, is this just a gag? No, he can
Let's
play.
hope he can't dance, because then I can't compete.
He looks good dressed up as a woman. He does that a lot. He makes a very pretty woman.
As the band leader?
No, not just regularly. But when they throw over to him, sometimes the camera just looks at him, and he just has that Fred Armisen look, and you laugh.
Like he's been caught.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's down the road, maybe.
Yes. I'd like to do that with Brent. It would be fun.
That would be great. Yeah. So you don't study the old sitcoms. What's your favorite sitcom theme of all time?
I've got to go with Sanford and Son.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Did you like the show too?
Yeah, I was really young, so I don't know if I would now. I'm not sure.
Well, that's a good point, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I read that you used to wake up and watch Abbott and Costello, so you're not that young.
Wow, God, you are. You're like moving right into Nardwar's thing. Well, you gave me the theme song. We already discussed that. Yeah, I loved Abbott and Costello. Just killed me.
But where were you watching that? You're
On my
not
TV.
80 years old.
No, in junior high school they ran it, and the problem was it got right up past bus time to get to school. So you had to make some critical choices about whether, because there was no taping Abbott and Costello.
Right.
You had to make a critical dash for the bus, or you were late. I was late several times because of Abbott and Costello.
So your comedy blood goes way back.
Well, I mean, technically, my dad also watched Abbott and Costello, but it wasn't, through the beauty of syndication and reruns and stuff. I did too.
Who's on First still stands up?
It does. And even my kids did Who's on First in like grade 7 talent show.
Did they?
Yeah,
And
that's
it
how
would
much
kill,
it
I
stands
bet.
up. It
Yeah.
did. It killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did it together, like the two of them?
No, my son and his friend
Right.
did it. Yeah.
Yeah. I've tried to I've done it with my son,
Yeah?
who was much younger. So there was a lot of editing involved. We did it on my camera.
Well, can we play that?
No, we cannot.
On a definite, when you have me back, we're going to definitely play that.
Okay.
Or maybe we'll do the sketch.
We'll do the
I'm
sketch.
gonna have to practice.
We'll
yeah.
do the sketch. We're talking with Craig Northey. The show's What's So Funny on CFRO 100.5 FM. I'm Guy McPherson, and Colleen Brow is over there, this time in the isolation booth. Last time I was over there because I was sick and I didn't want to infect my guest.
Wow, you're thoughtful.
It was great. We had him in here the whole time, like a restraining order or
Yeah.
something, and we all had fun over there where you guys are.
And now the
Now he's
tables have
better.
turned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the expression? Tables have turned?
Yeah, it is.
It is, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Corner.
Corner.
Yeah.
I want to play a track from a CD that you were involved in.
Yes.
Bruce McCullough, Drunk Baby Project. Drunk
Yeah.
Baby Project.
The Drunk Baby Project.
He likes drinking because he's a punch drunk punk,
Young Drunk Punk. Yeah.
young drunk punk, and Drunk Baby Project.
Yeah, I think he's probably got some sort of patent on the word, maybe.
Drunk,
Drunk.
yeah. Or he drinks a lot.
I can't comment on that.
I'm sure he used to. So this is the title track, Drunk Baby Project. What can you tell us about it?
We did that record if you could read the year on there, it would tell you what year it was. I can't remember. But we did it out at the Tragically Hip's Bathhouse Studios in
Their bathhouse.
Bath, Ontario. That's why it's called the Bathhouse.
Okay.
It's actually spelled Bathouse, but it's Bathhouse.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was 2002.
There you go. And we used Brian Connolly, who was in The Shadowy Man, who did the series, the Kids in the Hall series, as the guitar player, and some odds, and Vince Jones plays with Sarah McLachlan now. He was in Grapes of Wrath, and basically wrote that record in Toronto and different places, Los Angeles, Brian and Bruce and I produced it, and we laughed a lot.
Were you high?
No,
Okay. I just wanted to set
because
that.
I had to work.
Okay, that's good. But Drunk Baby Project, the writing credits on this are Bruce McCullough and Brian Connolly.
Yeah, on
You
that
don't
song.
you don't have
No,
right,
I just-
when we're going to play this
I'm
track.
playing on it. Yeah, why? Well, you could pick a different one.
But you're playing on this one.
Yeah, I'm playing on it.
You're
yeah.
playing the guitar.
Yeah, and I'm telling people, I'm bossing people around.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's hear. We got all that queued up there, Colleen?
In the early 60s, though it was hidden from view, the state and those under its tutelage went looking for proof. In bunkers so secret, its scientists never went home. They begun what was to become known on the lips of horrified hipsters and capable cops as the Drunk Baby Project. Babies were taken from towns and townhouses, pulled from horrified mums by men who held badges. In a secret place, they were given government booze. In towels, muffled howls were recorded as proof that the sins of our fathers are not hidden from view. Liquor pigs, there are statistics on you, kept by the Drunk Baby Project. smiles you gonna put on that kid? Sad babies in jolly jumpers.
Maintenance. Clean up the dry ward.
And the story so gory was born and it grew. If a baby drank one, then some could drink two. And as those sweet babbies were pushed to the brink, the project's conclusion, booze makes it harder to think. That flesh is a gun and liquor the trigger. It only gets worse as us babies get bigger. If you don't believe me, ask the Drunk Baby Project.
Security, baby seen crawling with car keys in hand.
Keep
61.
those tipsy toddlers alive. Drunk babies shouldn't drive. Drunk babies shouldn't drive. Meanwhile, some tipsters told hipsters the tale, how babies were kept in this organized jail. Hipsters scratched goatees and put down their poems, buried their bongos, left cardboard homes. Using their combs, they picked the locks of that secret government dome.
Secure the perimeter.
Hipsters hopped fences.
Problem.
Security responded with fear. The hipsters were laid wallward. Cops spit in their ears. The babies were wily, and some trundled free. How do I know? One of those babies was me. My first words? Dada. My second words? Dada. I'm drunk. Are you proud?
That was Bruce McCullough and our guest tonight, Craig Northey, on the guitar. Did I say that right?
Yeah, I was just realizing that's Brian Connolly.
Oh, that's not you?
I'm the guy saying secure the perimeter and a few things like that. And that's Bruce's wife, Tracy Ryan, singing as the baby. She's in Young Drunk Punk, too.
So wait, you didn't play on this track?
I just realized,
You just
I
said
didn't play on that.
Secure the perimeter.
Yeah, I said
Well, that was our
secure the
guest saying
perimeter.
secure the perimeter. It's like
Yeah.
we're having an extra.
It's weird. Like if you're the producer of something and you're just there to go, well, that note doesn't sound right. And can we do that again? That's your legacy, really. I do usually play, but I didn't on that one.
You did on other tracks on this.
I did, yeah.
Anyway, that's from Bruce McCullough's CD, Drunk Baby Project.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a good groove.
Yeah.
I love the groove. It reminds me of Cake.
Oh,
A
yeah?
little bit of the cool kind of, I love that. Great
Wow.
sound, like short skirt, long jacket or something.
Oh,
that
yeah,
kind of
just
feel.
a little slower, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I'll tell the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like the food.
No,
Cake?
Cake the band, but there's a real cool
It
song,
is-
short skirt, long jacket.
Right.
That is a
is
cool
it?
song.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know it.
Trumpet, too.
I don't really know your rock and roll stuff. Hey, but Odds.
It's okay. These fine. Yeah, you can say it.
Odds has some CDs
Say corner gas for me.
Corner Gas.
Okay, there you go.
Now, I'm self-conscious about it. I don't know if I could say it.
Yeah.
But you got a couple of new stuff with the odds. You guys played at New Year's Eve, right? At
We did, yeah.
River Rock or one
Yes.
of those.
Yeah, River Rock. Yeah.
That would have been a good show because you were on with who?
Grapes of Wrath and Northern Pikes.
From Saskatchewan.
Yes, from
Saskatoon.
Saskatchewan. Yeah,
See, I do know a little about the rock and roll.
you do. Yeah.
I was at a college station when you guys were
Which one?
CFUV,
Oh,
Victoria.
right. Did we come in there?
Not that I recall.
Okay. Just trying to remember.
Okay, but you guys are still kind of together.
We
'Cause
are totally together.
Oh, you
yeah.
are totally because you
Totally,
weren't
yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah, we took 9 years off, but we basically worked with each other all the time. Three of us did. Like some of these things you're talking about, the comedy. Doug Elliott and Pat Stewart from the band worked on Brain Candy, The Kids in the Hall film with me, and also on Dog Park that I scored for Bruce. That was a
Right.
Luke Wilson film, and Janine Garofalo. And then they basically, the Northey Valenzuela record, the guy from the Gin Blossoms who I wrote the Corner Gas theme with, we did a record. Those guys are on it. So basically we realized after all those years that we were I was just hiring the same two guys that maybe we should just make our own music again too.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember how we used to do that?
Yeah.
You know, when you said your name there, I realized I pronounce it differently too.
I got a lot to learn.
Nor-
I have to learn.
No, I'm saying I got this one wrong.
Yeah.
I said Northey,
Yeah.
and you said Northey.
I know.
So you're correct, obviously.
Well, this is a thing. Somebody got mad at me. I can tell you who, but it doesn't matter. They got mad at me because they said, "How do you pronounce your name? Is it Northey or Northey?" And I said, "It doesn't matter. You just do one of them." Like I think some people who are named this use the other one too. I think maybe even some of my kids use a different
Do they?
pronunciation, so it doesn't matter. And he
I
goes,
know.
"Well, it's got to matter. It really has to matter. You have to make a choice." I said, "No, I don't. I don't
Okay.
want to make a choice." So you're correct.
Oh, good.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, that's the same with me. Some people say McPherson. Some
Yeah.
people say McPherson.
yeah.
Doesn't bother me one bit. But some people ask me, which is it? And I go, well, I say McPherson, but if you want to say,
You go to Scotland in a different place, it'll say McPherson or
yeah. But I don't go to Scotland for that reason.
just You should hear them say corner gas.
Oh,
Yeah,
hey, you got it right.
rolling the R's.
You got it right that time.
Yeah.
But you come from a musical family, right?
I do.
Your mother is classical musician.
Yes, she's. Well, I don't know if musicians retire, but she's retired from playing. Yeah,
She was with the symphony.
she was. Yeah, she was with all kinds of different ensembles and groups, and
She must
over
be
the years.
so disappointed with the direction your career took.
well, I don't think they wanted me to be a musician.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, I don't think did your dad want you to be one or
No,
no?
no. And he got his wish.
Yeah. Well, see, you didn't let your parents down. Thanks for rubbing it in. No, they're very happy and they're very supportive. Initially in rock, you know, they wanted me to have something to fall back on like all parents. They wanted me to do other things.
Well, I guess because you think your son is going out there and he's got a band together, like so many kids do,
Yeah.
and something may never come of that.
Yeah.
Or it may blossom and then fizzle out. But I mean, you have this great career outside of just being in a rock band.
I think that ever since I can remember, I wanted to write things and make things up. And that's helped me the most. And I think that's when they started to relax I think my mom didn't want me to be a tradesman as a musician, you know, to show up for the gig with my horn or my guitar and do it and then go to the next one kind of thing. And
Like a studio musician? Or?
yeah, she knew how hard that was, I think.
Right.
And you got to be damn good to do that as your job. So it probably took me 30 years to get to that level. But meanwhile, I could write all this dumb stuff and it sort of caught on before I got talented.
Dumb stuff. You mean?
Well, I could write songs and
Yeah.
have something that was me, you know, that you didn't really have to have special skills to do. It's just what you did.
Right.
And the special skills, well, it takes a long time, and there still are tons more talented musicians than I am.
How many songs do you think you've written?
I don't know how
Ballpark
many gigs
it.
I've done, or I don't know. I mean, I'm always writing, so I don't
if
really know.
somebody's-
I don't know. Sometimes they're right now, like for TV, I'm constantly writing something, but it
Right.
might be 20 seconds long. It might not have words, and
We're not counting those.
Yeah,
But if Nardwar were here and
he would know though.
and he pulled out some song, like, would you know every song that you've written? Could you go, oh, I don't remember that one?
I always thought I'd remember every gig, and I thought I did, and I'd remember everything. And right now, I think I noticed one or two slipping out. And it's that slate memory, I think, that it's like a typewriter carriage moving back and forth. For anyone who remembers what typewriter was, it goes one way and something gets shoved out. There's only that much room. So I memorize some new piece of music, and then something's gone. And my other bandmates joke about that, because you'll go to do a gig where you're supposed to know, they'll just call a tune, and I'll just stare blankly.
Of your own tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll stare blankly.
How does
like-
that go again?
Well, a lot of times you write it and you record it on that day, and you might not play it again You might play it. You might play it 5 times, 10 times, and then some of them catch on with people, and you end up playing them 1,000 times.
Right.
So those ones, yeah, you remember those.
I remember the great rock guitarist David Cassidy said when he was at the River Rock that he was spending a New Year's Eve with John Lennon, and they were playing their guitars. And John Lennon had to ask him how the early Beatles song went, or whichever one he was playing.
So
Because it was just something that he didn't do regularly.
yes,
Yeah.
but it's kind of weird to think that in John Lennon's later years, like maybe just leading up to 40, what he would play for you would be David Cassidy's impression of what he did before.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah. There was a lot of drugs going around, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good thing you missed that part,
Oh, yeah.
that era.
That would be bad.
Yeah. You mentioned that you were the band behind Warren Zevon.
Well, me and 3 other guys.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
They're
we
not
were.
here, so you.
We were.
And then that's had to be a bit of a head rush.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was great.
At what stage of your career?
Our first album we did, official one, we did a couple cassette albums that we released from the stage for the beginnings of The Odds. And then when we were Odds and we put out our first sort of major label record, as they used to call it, got signed by a label, that was 91. And Warren heard that record and was putting together this idea, which he did a few times before us, where a band would be his band and open. So he looked for somebody who had a record out he liked.
So you guys would come out and open for him, and then he would come out, and then you would, I guess, have a different sound almost to play his music.
Yeah, but I think his concept was he showed up here in Vancouver. Our base, we were in the basement of the Roxy, where we used to have a house gig. It was our moonlighting place, and he showed up, and I was a fan in high school, and Excitable Boy was because we're on the show. You could tell I have a dark sense of humor, and so does he. And so when you discover another musician with that kind of humor in their music, you can really relate. It's not jokey,
Right.
but it's intensely funny if you listen to what's going on, and also sad at the same time. So we were kind of kindred because I was weaned on, I was raised on that kind of thing, and I really loved it. And so I was very reverential, and I wanted to make sure that these riffs here were preserved and the things that were integral to the songs. And he said, "Thank you for that, but I really want you just to do what you guys would do with it." So he let us push it and pull it, and it evolved as we went. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was like a mentor to you.
He was.
Did he teach you about songwriting or performing, or like maybe even not directly, but just indirectly?
Yeah, it was more like the writer's way. If for somebody like that who seems so undisciplined, when you read the autobiography or the biography that his wife wrote, you would be amazed at how much he wrote and how much discipline he had. And so he would, we'd be watching, as I said, watching a movie on the bus, and he'd look at me and go, "Craigie Wags, have you watched that movie before? It seems like you know the lines in the movie." I'd say, "Yeah." And he'd go, "Well, then you should be writing." And then he'd walk to the back of the bus. So you go, "Oh,
Okay,
God, I guess
Dad.
I should be writing." And, he'd say, he'd come up and, "I've got the back lounge and it's mine, it's my space. But if you ever want to write, you can use it." That kind of a thing.
So
So
not for your silly movies.
not for my silly stuff, not for, what you guys do with your party times.
And from that point on, did you become more focused in your writing or more disciplined?
Yeah, and he sort of taught me a lot about like what a lot of mentors do, when you should say no and yes to certain things. Like when the record company would come by and he'd say, if you want to get out of that because you got something to do and you've got an idea and you don't think that hanging out and having 18 beer with that guy is what you need to do, just tell him you can't. You're working on the album. You've got to write. And nobody will ever bother you about that or say, "No, you shouldn't do that." So he'd found ways to find room for himself. And So he taught you those kind of things, and he was a very funny dude too. And he would have a calendar with the word of the day on it, and he'd make everybody gather around as he ripped off the top sheet, and the new word was there, and everybody would have to use it in a sentence in that day at some point. And it would become funny because there'd be ridiculous words, and everybody would be trying to use it in a sentence.
So you built your vocabulary too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he could do one-arm push-ups, and sadly he's not with us, but he was pretty healthy at the time.
Wow. How long were you with him?
Just a few months, but we remained friends. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he came out to see me with the kids in the hall when we'd come through town or with whatever we were doing, see the band, played on our second album.
You talk about a song that is funny, but not a novelty song.
Yeah.
Right? I think you wrote something about satire equals novelty in the end.
Yeah. Well, we had that noose. We had this tune called Heterosexual Man.
It's a good tune.
Yeah, it is. And, in a kind of like B-52s kind of riffy way. It was hooky.
I wanna make every woman I see, maybe make a baby with me, 'cause I'm a heterosexual man.
And it led to a lot of arguments and discussions in our band. And even the picture on the back of our second record was us just about breaking up over the idea that song was going to be on the album. And I was going, I'm going to leave. I can't.
You don't want it.
Well, because you want to be credible at that time.
Yeah.
You want to be known for your skills as a songwriter. And that just was such a broad stroke that it's a big, bright color. And it's going to take over, and that's going to be what your ridiculous immortality is,
So wait, when you guys played at New Year's Eve, did you play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do it.
So you'll still do it.
Yeah, we took some time off it for a while, but Stephen, who was in the band, who wrote that, he's not in the band anymore. So we don't generally play a lot of those songs, but we play that one. I mean, we can't get away without it. People want to hear it.
But like Bare Naked Ladies, when they came out, I remember seeing them before maybe they had a cassette out, right? And just being blown away by their musicianship.
They're incredible.
They are incredible. And then their CD, I knew it was coming out, and I was hoping it was as good as they were live, and it was. The mix was fantastic. But then they kind of got that knock. Oh, they're novelty, because there are a lot of funny songs in there. Not all of them. And I thought that was a bad rap.
It is, especially for them. Incredible songs too.
Yeah.
Over the years,
Yeah.
not all, and darkly funny, but there's some beautiful, beautiful music. And seeing them live is such an experience because they're improv guys basically. And well, I always like the joke that Gordon, the name of that album, got our record deal on novelty. Gordon, that's what that stands for.
Oh, got our record deal on novelty.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that where it comes from?
Yeah. We toured a lot with them, and I currently just been making music with Stephen Page. I did his last record. I wrote a couple songs with him on that record, and this one I've co-produced with him that's about to come out. It's a massive thing, like 25 songs.
You ever think he'll go back, rejoin them?
I don't think it's in the future right now, but look at myself. You never say never.
Yeah, when you walked away from Odds,
Yeah.
were you thinking, good riddance?
No, I was kind of, pensive.
I'm bigger than you guys.
No, I didn't think that at all. I think it just became one of those things where you go, it's time. It feels like it's time to do something else.
Right.
And you're dumb enough at that point to not realize how much work you put into establishing that, and how hard it actually is to try to do again. It's really hard. So you kind of go, you don't know, because who's going to tell you that? I guess somebody's telling you, but like I said earlier, I don't listen. So
You were on a cruise with a Bare Naked Ladies cruise? Your bands?
We did 4 of them, yeah.
So what is that? Just a bunch of fans get together and then there's shows all day and night?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like a festival, like Pemberton or whatever, or
On the
Sasquatch
seas.
on the sea, but it's caters to that group of fans. So the Bare Naked Ladies curate it, and they pick bands that they like, whether they know them or not, and some they know. And off we go. And you get your people buy tickets for the cruise and their cabins, and it works like other cruises. The food's provided, and they look at their menu of concerts through the day at all the venues. And these ships are like cities full of clubs and stages, and they just run from one to the next.
Wow. And unlike a lot of cruises, the entertainment is good.
Yeah, I can't say I haven't been on other ones.
Yeah, me neither.
I've only been on these ones, and I can tell you, we had a lot of fun. We did that shtick you alluded to earlier, the Dawn Patrol at the Roxy for years when we were moonlighting, and we'd record our band in the day, odds, and then at night we'd do this sort of demented British invasion band with a lot of talking and changing of words. And
You mean playing covers, but changing the words, yeah.
Yeah, we screwed around a lot. And then they had seen that and got up with us a bunch of times back then. And then we later toured with them and became friends. And so when they got the cruise, they knew that would be a great band to have on the Lido deck at the end of the night for all the musicians to get up with and rock out.
Dawn Patrol.
Yeah, but we didn't do that. We invented a new thing called Acid Wish, and we still do it sometimes, fine acid wash clothing and disguises of different sorts, and do a lot of Kiss and crotch rock.
So it's a nice release for you.
It's fun, yeah.
By the way, it is Bare Naked Ladies, not the Bare Naked Ladies.
It's true.
I know you said the.
Well, I'm taking back the night. I'm just taking that word back. I'm going to use it as much as I can.
So Dawn Patrol. I never went to the Roxy.
It's Roxy. It's not the Roxy.
I never went to Roxy.
Yeah.
But I heard you
it's
guys.
Actually now tonight it's the Roxy
That you guys would dress in kilts and wigs and shoot rubber chickens to the crowd.
Yes. And we would go on tours where we'd have a full set designer come in and do it like an Italian restaurant with spaghetti hanging off things, and we would all dress as Pavarotti, and that would be Italy. And then
what do you mean you'd go on tours?
We'd tour in the Roxy, like we never left.
But just the backdrop would be different.
So for that week it would be Italy, and then next week it would be something, and then we'd start to go out. We went to outer space, and we went back in time. We did all kinds of things like that.
Now that band never recorded, did they?
We were on some TV shows, but I'm not going to tell you.
Which ones?
I just said I'm not going to tell you See, I'm using it strategically.
Let me guess, were they Vancouver shows? They had to be Vancouver shows. It was the Vancouver show.
No. We were on
John
Booker.
Allen Thick.
We were on Booker.
Oh,
the
Booker.
spin-off from 21 Jump Street.
You guys were also on 21 Jump Street. Or you were.
No, it was Booker.
Booker was.
Booker was...
The Booker?
This is where our Who's on First starts. Is a Stephen Cannell.
Who booked that?
Exactly. Booker. It was a spin-off with Richard Grieco. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Probably Greco.
The Grieco.
Knowing you.
Yeah. They spun it off, and he was another detective who also had a motorcycle and a motorcycle jacket. And we were a Who cover band in one of the episodes who had somehow come across a stolen B.B. King's Lucille guitar, and we're about to smash it. That was our thing.
I got that out of you pretty easily,
I know.
considering you said you weren't going to tell me.
I just did that because that's what rock people are supposed to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Booker, is that available in fine VHS format somewhere?
There's always the YouTube.
Okay, we'll look for that. You've done. Oh, yeah, I did see the clip of you. I didn't see the episode, but you in Corner Gas.
Yes, I've been on Corner Gas.
Yeah. Damn it. Yeah, with the Archie's theme. Yeah,
Yes.
like the 50s. That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
I
I know.
hadn't seen that episode. But it was sort of a dream sequence.
Yes.
And Brent is Archie, and everybody, Fred is
Jughead.
Jughead. Thank you.
All the typecasting is amazing, and
Yeah, and then you come out and you play like a sock hop.
yes,
But it's the closing song.
yes. That I was saying earlier, what integrity Brent has and what a stand-up guy he is. I just rued the day that I wasn't in the hockey. I like to play hockey, and Brent and I played hockey together, and I wanted to be in the hockey episode, and I said, if you have another hockey episode, can I skate it? Like I can be on the Dog River Dogs. And he said, yeah, sure. But they never did one. So then when he told me the series was winding down, I said, well, we haven't been in the show yet. I didn't get to skate. Like you can't stop the show. So he wrote that bit so we could go out there and be in the show. And it was a cool bit.
Man of his word.
He is a total man of his word.
Although if you hadn't brought it up,
Yeah, well, I did
probably
push.
would've laughed.
I did.
Why
push.
weren't you in the original hockey episode?
Uh,
Jamie Hutchison was.
Jamie was. Yeah, Jamie was in it, and I don't know. Maybe I didn't make. I was. He was probably too embarrassed that I wouldn't make the team.
The Dog River team.
Yeah,
Do you still play?
I do. Yeah.
Checking?
No, I mean senior men's. You don't really hit each other.
Right.
Yeah.
But do you think with the night gig that you had with Dawn Patrol,
Mhm.
that still helped you guys because you were playing together even more than you would have when you were recording your tunes during the day? Even though it wasn't the music that you were playing with Odds,
Mm-hmm.
did it help you at all?
Of course, yeah. That whole chemistry, and I think I had a lot of nerves and couldn't perform unless I had a lot of booze in me earlier than that. So I think it was there. When I joined, I was like I was saying, I made up stuff and I wrote, and I'd never been really in a cover band situation or a working musician situation where I was 6 nights a week, 4 sets a night playing. It just hadn't happened. I would, with original bands in this town, you might play once a week or once every month. And so it got me, especially me, up on stage. The other 3 were working musicians who played a lot. So it got me up on stage for all those years doing that. And you do internalize a lot of classic music. The structures of it go into your bloodstream, and then you puke them out in some other
And you
way.
can rip them off
Exactly.
legally.
Legally, just change the order of the notes.
Have you ever had that where you write a tune and then somebody comes to you and says, no, this is somebody else's song?
I've never had that. I
But
think
you must have had the thought that this has to be somebody else's song. It's so good.
I've had that before, but then it wasn't someone else's. But I have Doug Elliott in the band who he'll sit beside you as you're presenting a song, and as soon as it gets to a section that's the same as something else, he'll just start singing it as loud as he can. And then he'll do that until you're so dissuaded that you'll change the tune.
He'll start singing the original tune over it.
Over top of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But, there's only 12 notes, really.
Yeah.
So.
And there's a billion tunes out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you can literally write someone else's tune, I'm sure I've done it, but that person hasn't figured it out, and I don't know who they are.
Oh, I see.
To come sue me, yeah.
That's right. They wouldn't have heard you, and you wouldn't have heard them.
I don't know it, but you
Yeah.
might have written pretty much the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Good thing.
Yeah.
Good thing that they're not out
Yeah.
there to come see you.
Good thing we do a lot of our releases in secret. Like,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of people don't know that we still make records.
But you do.
Yes.
So you gave me a couple, which I can't wait to put into my device
Yeah.
and play in my car on the way home. Tell me about these.
Uh,
They're EPs, right?
EPs, CD EPs, numbered ones, those ones you're holding. But you can get them on the internet. You can download them if you just want them digitally as well. We decided, we made a double album basically that you'd have in the old days with a lot of songs. And I think people consume music differently now. They don't necessarily They listen to the first one or the second one, and they don't. Their playlists take them to other places.
You mean the tune? They listen to one or two tunes.
Yeah. So we just decided to make it into smaller, bite-sized bits. So we made 3 EPs and released them, and now we're going to make a vinyl record of it as well.
Vinyl's coming back.
Yeah. Well,
But you can only get about 40 minutes on a vinyl disc,
45.
right?
yeah,
45. And your EPs have 5 tracks each, times 3's, 15.
Yeah.
Can you get that on a
No,
vinyl?
we'll cut some off for
Right.
the record.
But it's still fun
Yeah, it is.
coming up with these, eh?
Yeah, well, and you could make artwork, and it's my daughter put that package together, and Chris Cran is a great artist. He's from Calgary, Alberta, or he lives in Calgary. He's from Salmon Arm originally, but he's done the last 4 odd album. They're his paintings.
Oh, wow.
We love his work. We just appropriate it. Well, he lets us. We ask him.
Yeah. He charges
Some of them.
you?
Well, we won't discuss the arrangement, but one of them is in the National Gallery, and
Oh,
some are
wow.
private galleries. Yeah, he's a big deal.
What's his name?
Chris Cran.
Chris Cran.
Yeah. If you're into art, people out there,
I'll Google him.
yeah.
And covers of your songs. Have you had many bands taking tunes of yours and coming up with wonderful new ways of playing them?
Once in a while.
Or horrible ways?
Once in a while. Our favorite is Tool, who play Some Days It's Dark, that wrote for Brain Candy. They play it as an encore sometimes. So that's pretty cool.
They play it as an encore.
In their shows. Their
I don't
concerts.
know Tool.
Tool are a
Are you sure it's
heavy band.
not The Tool?
It's Tool but
Tool
they took the off the end. Of
The
theirs.
The.
Yeah,
I know them.
Tool.
I saw them at Disneyland.
Not the Tools either.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah.
That would be more of a new wave
plural.
Tool. Yeah.
Yeah. Has your sounds changed over the years? The odds?
Yeah, I guess so. We haven't.
It's still hooky.
It's
Still hooky power pop kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I think
That'll never go
it's
away.
where we come together and we enjoy it. It's like comfort food. But we have a new guy over the not that new, 7 years.
But you'll always call him the new guy.
He's always the new guy. Yeah, Murray, and that changed the sound. And
Okay.
now on this newest EP that you don't have, there's 3. We did a trilogy because Lord of the Rings was very popular. So we decided that was a good
yeah.
idea. The third
Jump on
one,
that train.
Doug and Pat, who've been in the band for decades. Well, Doug has anyway. They sing and play their own music. So that's new 26 years later.
How old is Murray?
Murray is 42.
He's in the ballpark then.
Yeah.
He's not some young kid coming in.
No, he's in the
Joanna.
ballpark, but he does bring our average age down a hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have so much? Do you ever just look back on your career? You've done so much.
Yeah.
Like all these credits. We've mentioned Kids in the Hall, Corner Gas, Hiccups. I mean, other things. The Glossy Awards. You were the band for the Glossy Awards.
I sang a song, yeah.
I went to
With
that.
Great Mike Norman as the band
That's how
leader.
you know Damon Schroeder and those guys.
I know
Dave
Damon
Nystrom.
Yeah.
I remember he was in it.
Yes, I sang a song about a crazy chicken, Pollo Loco.
Oh, for Peter Kalamis?
Yes, yeah,
His famous Pollo Loco routine.
that's right. Yeah, the clam. And Mike Norman, a friend of ours, rest in peace, beautiful dude. He was the band leader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you were involved in that. But you
Yeah.
played with Cheech Marin, too?
Boy, you know everything. Yes,
I was at
I
that
did.
show.
You're at. Yeah, that's where you're,
the
Colleen. You
River
were
Rock.
saying he gets a tired pen. You know. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
he's
did.
out. I guess he doesn't like to stay home and do chores or something. He's
Good.
always
That's
out.
for damn
That is
sure.
a
Well,
good
it's
idea.
music and comedy for you.
Yeah.
You love
Great.
both, so you're out all the time.
That's right. So Cheech Marin of Cheech
Yeah.
and Chong
Yes.
fame, he came up and this was before they got back together.
It was.
They were still
yeah.
fighting because I interviewed him at that time.
Mhm.
And yeah, there was tension there.
Yeah, he was lovely. It was a great day. And so he just called ahead and said, could we learn these 5 things and we'll do some other stuff. and we need a band to do bumpers, and I'd done that quite a bit with this band that I was in with called Sharkskin, which is kind of an organ combo. So we did that gig, and Cheech was great and talkative, but we did all the great tunes, the ones that you can imagine he would want to do, and namely the one that every guitar player wants to do, the great Gay Delorme classic, Earache My Eye. We were so excited to be playing Earache My Eye because we've all played it before. And then he's such a good dude that we did it in the sound check, and he's going, wow, yeah, I forgot how you come up to Vancouver and there's all these good musicians, and how much fun he was having in the sound check. And then we did all the other songs, Mexican Americans and Born in East LA and everything through the night as he was hosting, because it was kind of a Kings of Comedy type
Yeah, he brought
show.
on different Hispanic comics.
Yeah. Al Madrigal and all kinds of folks.
He's coming back
Al is?
a couple weeks.
He's good,
Yeah.
man. He's good. And so the last comic was killing. She was doing a great job. I'm trying to remember what her name was. You might remember. But she was really killing, and you might have remembered that. And we were supposed to go out to do Earache My Eye. It was the big closer. And I'm going, are we going? And he goes, he goes, no, we should let her go. She's really killing it.
Hmm.
And so he gave up it wasn't about him.
Mm.
It was just really cool.
I don't remember who that was. I could go back and check because I
think
probably
I
reviewed
think it was
the show
me.
It was Colleen.
I don't
yeah.
know. Let's just go with that.
Yeah, you were on that.
on that Hispanic
Yeah.
comic.
Yeah,
So
I think it was Colleen.
yeah, that was 2006, I believe.
Was
Does
it?
that sound right?
You're good with the years too.
Mm,
The years.
the year. I'm good with years. What else? Oh yeah, you won a Genie Award for Brain Candy, right?
No, I lose all awards. I was
Wait.
nominated.
Really?
Yeah, I never win.
Your cat won one,
Oh,
didn't they? The West Coast.
Cat one. Did you see our play? Is that where you got all this
No.
stuff? Oh, we wrote a play that has all this stuff.
Who's
in it.
we?
The band and Bruce McCullough and Kevin helped me. McDonald too. I wrote
So it was a play by the odds. I mean, by odds.
Yeah, we were in it, and we did it about, I would say, because you'll look it up, about 14 times maybe, but it was retrospective, and it was kind of impressionistic, and my cat did figure into the story of him beating us for the award.
Nathan.
Nigel,
Yeah,
I
knew that. Damn it, I made a mistake. Just as
No.
we're ending up. It says Nigel right here. I wrote down Nigel.
Yeah, penmanship. You're good at pronunciation, but not penmanship.
Yeah, 'cause my hand is sore from 2 weeks of the comedy festival. Yeah, so you're bad at awards, but who cares, really? That's why you didn't watch the Oscars in protest.
No, I just actually didn't really know that it was on.
Yeah, I
until
didn't know
later.
until like 3 o'clock.
You tweeted it, and that's when I knew the Oscars were on.
And I was thinking, oh, shit, I hope he's not watching the Oscars.
I bet you some good movies won, though.
I'll tell you who won the best song. This
Mhm.
is right up your alley. The song was called Glory
Mhm.
from the movie. Do you know?
Glory.
No.
It was really powerful when they sang it. John Legend.
Oh, John Legend won it.
Yeah,
Oh,
with
he's
the
awesome.
other musician, I don't know his name.
Selma.
Yeah, but
Not the
from the
musician. The
movie
movie
Selma.
was Selma.
Selma, yeah. I
It was a
haven't
beautiful
seen it
song.
yet. See, I want to see all the movies I want to see.
And the
But
best
John Legend, I love. He's
Yeah.
great.
best score was from the movie Grand Budapest Hotel.
I was going to tell you, it's going to win.
Oh, you were
Yeah.
you? It's easy to say after I tell
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, any Wes Anderson should win.
But for score?
Oh, yeah, that's a great score, that one.
Yeah,
It's
but
really cool.
is he known for his
Yeah, John
scores?
Bryan, and he always has innovative music in his
Hmm.
movies. Yeah,
So who will win next year? I saw you tweeted that.
yeah.
You would come on and tell us who would win next year.
I think it's going to be. I was listening to the radio on the way here, and Ben Hepner was on CBC talking about an opera called The Love Doctor. I'm sure it's 100 years old or maybe more, about a guy a gal who's not really sick, but she can't be cured by all these doctors because she's really suffering from a broken heart. And so I'm going to write that movie. I'm going to adapt that,
was
The
gonna
Love
say.
Doctor, and because it's going to be a lot of music, but it's
But
going
not
to be
an opera.
no, it's going to be operatic.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
gonna.
I'm going to just
Could you
basically.
do that?
Yeah, I mean, you saw Les Miserables maybe, or maybe you saw, like me, you saw the first 5 minutes and thought that looks really cool. And
I did not even see that.
But if I have to listen to that for much longer, I might poke my eyes out, which is bad because you could still hear. But
You gotta,
the
and you can't.
futility drove you to
Right.
make an irrational decision to poke your eyes out.
If only you could poke your ears out,
Yeah.
not just get wax.
Yeah, I can't put earplugs in.
No.
Anyway, so that's what's going to win because I don't think there's a better concept.
But Craig Northey, you do not like musicals.
Yeah, I wrote about that once.
But you would still like to compose one. You'd still like to.
I've reframed, like I'm free to change my mind. I saw Book of Mormon and it was awesome.
Mhm.
And I do like the concept of musicals. I just don't like a lot of them.
The concept. I thought you didn't like people just talking and then all of a sudden breaking into song. And it,
Yeah, I don't like that.
right.
Yeah.
But that's what happens in musicals.
Yeah, I don't go to see musicals.
You went to see the Book of Mormon,
Yeah,
or is it Book of Mormon?
it's the.
The Book
Book
of
of
Mormon.
Yeah, I went to see it. It was very funny.
Well, you should write one though. You
I
should
should.
write.
Yeah, well, actually, I can't even. I can't talk about that. It's top secret.
Okay.
Yeah, but there is one.
Because you
I'm-
would just have to
I'm
do the
kinda
music
working on
part,
one.
not the book.
That's right. The libretto. But no, I want to write the Love Doctor.
You do.
I do. Yeah.
That's just based on today.
I just want to write it
We
based
heard
on
it
the
here
one
first.
sentence abstract that he told me about. I just want to write it based on that.
That he told everybody about.
He told, yeah, someone could be. I got to get out of here because somebody's probably.
He
writing
was
it.
talking on the radio.
Somebody's
Doesn't
writing
just
it.
go to your car.
Jeez, you know so much.
What was the one sentence?
It was
Is it about the girl?
the gal, and
Okay.
she's got a broken heart. So I'm taking it that one of these doctors knows that love is the cure,
Mhm.
and he sings to her about that. So I'm going to write that. I think I'll probably start there. The song about I'm going to cure your.
Yeah, I think you could do it and still have it ready for next year's Oscars.
I could.
So your
do it.
prediction
Yeah,
would hold.
it's gonna win. I'm gonna get John Legend to sing it.
Mm-hmm. I think you should.
No,
If you
you
could-
can't win two in a row. He will not win
Well,
two in a
that's
row.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could hook up with Wes Anderson, though. I think that'd be a real winner.
Well, he's gonna shoot it.
Okay.
You gotta-
Anything he does.
You got to think strategically.
Yeah.
When you get him on your show, could you give him my number?
Wes?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I have it here, but I have to ask him first.
I might make a mistake and get Wes Craven.
Whole different
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah. Or
That'd be
Wesley
bad.
Willis. Yeah.
I've lost my outgoing theme song here, so we're going to just keep talking. Craig.
Okay. Yeah. Theme song's coming up.
Hey, yeah,
Here
but hey,
it
maybe you could
is.
write us a theme song. Oh, that's not it. Stop.
That's the theme song for the Love Doctor.
Oh, man.
Maybe your CD.
My
Yeah.
phone.
Put your CD back on.
Oh, yeah.
My CD?
Well, the CD that you played earlier.
Which one?
Well, the one that we played, where we played
The Drunk Baby
Craig's-
Project one?
Craig Northey's song.
Oh, I got
the way
it.
I like to pronounce it.
He's got it.
I got it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna play these for sure. But this we gotta go back to grits and greens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as we talk out.
Okay.
Craig, it was great. Can we hear it? It was great having you here.
Oh, look at that. You're fading it out with your thumb.
Mm-hmm. How's this for a closing theme?
It's great.
Because it's late at night.
You can
right?
imagine us arm in arm and waving to the band and
Drink in your
Colleen-
hand,
Colleen's got it. Well, you've got one.
cigarette in the other,
Yeah.
melancholy.
The drinks start
Yeah.
now. Craig Northey of Odds,
Thank you for having me, you guys.
thank you for coming and talking.
Yeah, it's fun.
And clarifying the band name, and your name and all the
Mhm.
other things.
Yeah.
And we clarified how to pronounce corner gas.
You said it right, Colleen.
Yeah, I've always said it that way.
I know. Most
Yeah.
people have, except for the announcer of CTV and this guy here.
Yeah. I was swayed by him. I'm a big fan.
Corner guy of him.
Yeah.
I know his name.
What's his name?
I can't remember it, but he used to do the PA at the Grizzlies.
Did he?
Yeah. What's his name? I'll tell you if you're right.
Is it Murdoch?
Yes.
Yeah.
Al Murdoch.
Al, right. Al's
Yeah.
a good dude.
He was the PA announcer for the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Yeah, and he does the Canucks too when Ashbridge can't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big hockey fan.
I am.
I know. You play it. Whew. I'm not used to this theme song. We could be going like
Is it
this.
a while?
for the-
Yeah.
No. It's only another minute, but we don't need to keep talking. Craig,
Just listen to some saxophone.
thanks so much. And next week we have another guest live in studio. I think it's Jacob Samuel. We'll have to look that one up. So, thumbs up?
Thumbs up. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Craig.
Good night, everybody.